You're listening to Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance, Protecting Texas Churches. The show that gives pastors and church leaders the clarity they need to protect their people, property, and ministry.
Welcome back to Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance, Protecting Texas Churches. I'm your host, Ron Wadley with Insurance for Texans. We help church leaders protect their people and property with wisdom and clarity. Today's episode is a milestone for us, episode 100. And fittingly, it's also one of the most hopeful conversations we've had in a long time. Because for the first time in years, there is genuinely good news for Texas church insurance. Phil felt that shift before he fully believed it. It was a Tuesday night in Tyler, and Phil was sitting alone in the church library with the 2026 budget spread out in front of him. The coffee in his cup had gone cold, but he hadn't noticed. His attention was locked on one line item that had caused more anxiety than anything else over the last 3 years: property insurance. Phil has served on the finance committee for 6 years. He loves his church. He loves seeing the youth building full on Wednesday nights and the sanctuary full on Sundays. But lately, stewardship hasn't felt like planning. It has felt like damage control. Every year, the insurance renewal brought another punch. Premiums jumping, deductibles climbing, coverage shrinking. And the same explanation every time: you're lucky to have coverage at all. So when Phil picked up the phone to call his insurance agent this year, he braced himself for another fight. Another conversation about what had to be cut so the church could afford insurance. But this time, the voice on the other end sounded different, optimistic. Phil, we actually have options this year. The carriers are competing again. Competing? Phil hadn't heard that word used about church insurance since before the pandemic. If you've been involved in church leadership over the last few years, you know exactly why that moment matters. Texas churches have lived through a brutal stretch: non-renewals, carriers leaving the state, take it or leave it offers that felt more like ultimatums than proposals. For a long time, churches had no leverage, but as we move into 2026, something has changed. The Texas church insurance market is finally thawing. Capacity has returned. Insurance companies that pulled back are quietly writing new business again. New carriers are entering the space, and for the first time in years, churches are no longer stuck accepting the only offer on the table. That shift matters because competition changes everything. When carriers have to compete, they sharpen their pencils. When they want good church business again, they stop pricing everything as if disaster is guaranteed. And when your church has a clean story, reasonable risk, and an advocate who knows how to present it, the numbers start to make sense again. We're also seeing something else that churches haven't seen in a long time: real price relief that doesn't require sacrificing coverage. For years, lowering the premium meant raising deductibles or underinsuring buildings just to survive renewal season. In 2026, preferred churches are finally benefiting from healthier insurance company balance sheets instead of paying for industry panic. And there's one more quiet shift that matters more than most people realize. February of 2026 marks 5 years since Winter Storm Uri. Those massive water claims that scarred church loss histories across the state are finally rolling off underwriters' look-back periods. That single event made otherwise careful churches look risky on paper. Now that black mark is disappearing. For many churches, this is the cleanest insurance history they've had in half a decade. That's why Phil felt something he hadn't felt in years, and that is a sense of control. He didn't have to slash mission budgets. He didn't have to downgrade coverage. He didn't have to tell staff that raises weren't possible again. Stewardship felt like stewardship again instead of survival. Now, let me be clear. A better market doesn't mean insurance companies are giving anything away. Churches still need to be positioned properly. Your story still matters. Your risk profile still matters. And leverage only works if you have someone who knows how to use it. That's exactly what we do at Insurance for Texans. Through our True Texas Church Insurance Program, we don't just shop policies, we advocate. We package your church correctly. We use our risk assessment process to show underwriters why your church deserves the best pricing and terms available in this new market. If your church hasn't reviewed its insurance with fresh eyes heading into 2026, now is the time. Reach out to our church insurance agents at insurancefortexans.com. And if you would like a better understanding of Texas church insurance, we wrote the book on the topic. Get your copy at thepromiseofcertainty.com. I'm Ron Wadley, and this has been Faith Stewardship and Insurance Protecting Texas Churches. Until next time, remember, great stewardship is about having an insurance expert in your corner.
Thanks for listening to Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance. Until next time, remember, insurance isn't just about policies. It's about safeguarding the mission God has called you to lead.